is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
Well, hell, how you doing out there? By the way, all you ravers in, I don't know, some dungeon someplace down in West Palm Beach or Atlanta or New York, wherever my ravers are, I love you ravers. I love Shahu and Ryan and John and Parker, especially my wife Shemaine, my son Toby, my son Rocco, my new grandson River Wolf. River Wolf Nugent. By the way, thank you for tuning in to the Ted Nugent Escape Sanctuary celebration of We the People, defiance, and the ultimate whirlwind of freedom, piss, and vinegar right here on the Real America's Voice Spirit Campfire. And by the way, it doesn't just fall out of the sky. When I keep trying to get on this apparatus in the Man Cave, Cuckoo's Nest, the Arsenal of Democracy, God, this is a beautiful garage, a beautiful barn. I got 1,000 horsepower, hell-raising Barack, hell-raising Challenger, Hellcat, and a Red Eye and a Demon 170. Thank you, Extreme Dodge in Jackson, Michigan. Thank you for the minivan. By the way, they provide a minivan for me, so I'm the Motor City Minivan Madman, the clean and the Sober City Madman, so I can get the dogs in and out of the minivan as I head over to Sunrise Acres later today with Scott Walker, son of Doug Walker, the Western bow hunter, and another campfire of great, great Americans. And that's where this effervescent masculinity confidence comes from. I'm surrounded by people who are in the asset column. And if you're watching and celebrating the Uncle Ted Spirit Campfire right here on Real America's Voice, you would be in the asset column. And it's brought to you by the mad scientists who Shemaine and I discovered for GetUncleTeds.com dog supplements. The healthiest nutrition and vitamins, and even some, when they have a sore on their leg, Sadie's got a sore, we spray this stuff on it, and I'm telling you, it really works. It's all natural, and I know you love your dogs. A lot of my piss and vinegar and high energy and happiness, my overglow happiness, overglow, one word, overglow happiness comes from my dogs, going all the way back to Kippy in 1952 and Duke 1958 and Gonzo and Bear and Popeye and Paco and Pinecone and Puppy Toddy and Steak Boy and now Happy Jackson. There's Happy Jackson here. Our dogs, we love who doesn't love their dogs? So go to GetUncleTeds.com. GetUncleTeds.com. If you want, everybody, the raves for this incredible product by incredible mad scientists who found natural organic supplements and beneficial treats for dogs. My dogs are on fire. We run every day. We hunt something every day. They are squirrel masters. And now with the James Bueller's Mississippi quail and Ron Sweet's ringneck pheasants and chuckers from Ken the Chucker Man up near Grand Rapids, my dogs go nuts every day. And they are so happy because they get Uncle Ted. That's what it's called, GetUncleTeds.com. So this celebration of all things positive is brought to you by GetUncleTeds.com, Uncle Ted's natural canine supplements, and also the great Mike Lindell. I'm not kidding you. You want to raise a middle finger for freedom. Can I get this up here breaking enough? I think I broke my neck last night. Anyhow, Happy, I miss you. My beloved Happy Jack. So Mike Lindell, a warrior. This guy fights. The Supreme Court somewhere claims that he lied. It's the Supreme Court that lied. You know, the Supreme Court with one of their Supreme Court justices who appears by all indicators to be a woman, but refuses to tell you what a woman is, but she's a Supreme Court justice. That Supreme Court? Are you kidding me? And the Supreme Court of Minnesota said, well, Americans don't have the right to farm. Yeah, we do. The Supreme Court of Minnesota said Steve Porter doesn't have the right to farm. You can't grow food. You can't grow food. You can't breed deer. You can't have cattle. The Supreme Court of Minnesota said that. These people are insane. These people are dangerous. These people are treasonous. These people wouldn't know justice if it sat on their nose and spun around till flames came out of their ears. You should try it sometime. So mypillow.com, type in the code SPIRIT. Mike Lindell, we love you. world-class products. Sadie, Coco, and Jackson are sleeping right now on mypillow.com dog beds. They got the new, they're also covered with the mypillow.com towels because they're all covered in muck. We go places where Lewis and Clark would not have allowed Sacagawea to go. Anyhow, this freedom escape provided by the guitar player from Detroit, the Motor City Madman, the Whack Master, is brought to you by mypillow.com. Just go there. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money on a gift for someone you love, made in America, go to mypillow.com. Also, go to tednugent.com because I just signed another 1,000 of these babies. You can get this at tednugent.com. And if you put this on your porch, Antifa will avoid your neighborhood. tednugent.com. And these babies, if you wear these babies, you'll cause much pain and suffering in the terrorist organizations. tednugent.com. So I'm having the time of my life, and I have the time of my life because my dogs are so happy. GetUncleTeds.com. And also a big thank you to those people in this hunting conservation world. Aaron and Nikki over there in Wisconsin. We're going to put it on the screen. Whitetailproductsgonewild.com. These people make this unbelievable product that the wildlife goes nuts for. You can get it at all these different feed mills. I don't know all the names of the places, but get this stuff. I know I'm promoting this stuff because I'm promoting the escape from the treachery. There's a lot of great hosts on Real America's Voice, and Jesse Waters does great, and The Five does great, Greg Gutfeld does great, Eric Bowling does great, Steve Gruber does great, Steve Bannon does great, my wife Shemaine does great, identifying the treachery that is sometimes overwhelming. So if you want to escape the treachery, I'm not kidding you, there is a bush or a stream or a park or a woodlot or a farm nearby. Go there, take a deep breath, and let God's miraculous nature heal the treachery that is being plowed into our lives by bureaucracies gone mad. I got a note from the Texas Parks and Wildlife. Follow me. Texas Parks and Wildlife, David Yakovitz, what are you doing? Governor Greg Abbott, what are you doing? Texas. You know, Texas, home of Luby's Cafeteria, where they didn't have a Second Amendment on October of 1991, so the Texans obeyed an infringement, went into Luby's Cafeteria with their guns in the truck. The Second Amendment, nor your instinct, doesn't say you keep in truck arms. No, it doesn't say keep in truck. Nobody thinks keep in truck, but they obeyed an illegal infringement at Luby's Cafeteria. And Hennard drove his pickup through the window and killed them all because they were forced into unarmed helplessness by the powers of Texas government. Well, we have concealed carry now. Well, no, only because we hammered you and said there's a Second Amendment and it's worldwide. The states don't have any control over the First Amendment. The states don't have any control over the Second Amendment. In Texas, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, Dan Patrick, Pat Curry, my rep, David Yakovitz of the Texas Parks and Wildlife, they are demanding I turn my deer heads in to their state veterinarian who gets the tests wrong, slaughtering thousands of deer on a bad test. Well, I guess it wasn't positive for chronic wasting disease. And even if it is, so what? Chronic wasting disease has never hurt a deer herd, cannot be transmitted by all extensive evidence. Chronic wasting disease cannot be transmitted to humans. And more fawns are born, millions of fawns are born every year for every confirmed case of chronic wasting disease. And on high fence operations in Texas, how can the condition of a deer or wildlife on a high fence, how can it possibly affect deer outside the high fence when the outside wildlife can't have access and the wildlife on the high fence can't get out? David Yakovitz, answer the question. I sent you these questions last week, and I haven't heard a peep from you. Would that be guilt I sense? These bureaucrats are completely out of control. And the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, well, you got within 72 hours, you got to report your deer kill. I tried. I can't get it on my phone. You. I don't have to report my deer kill. If you want to know at the end of the season, I'll tell you what happened. But I'm not calling it in on a technology I can't figure out. Well, you can't throw corn there. Yes, I can. There's no man that has authority over an American's throwing of corn unless I throw the corn in someone's face downtown, then you can stop me. If I'm not throwing corn into a human's face, then I can throw it wherever I want. Write it down. Well, it might cause them to have nose-to-nose contact. That's all they do is have nose-to-nose contact. That's all they do. Those of us that live with wildlife, we know that. Those bureaucrats who wouldn't know a mourning dove from a pterodactyl in an office on a computer screen, that's not wildlife information. I'm wildlife information. So these bureaucracies are completely out of control, and I'm not playing your stupid, treasonous, dishonest games. By the way, in Michigan, all wildlife regulations have to be based on sound science, and I can't find a wildlife regulation that has any hint of science in Michigan. Well, there's too many bears, so you can't have bird feeders. Then increase the bag limit. So this is just a wildlife issue, but it's October. It's the hunting season, and I'm celebrating it because I'm a real conservationist. The bureaucrats are not.
For folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change, and it gets me thinking.